Welcome to the Onyx Path News. We are live once again, and oddly on a Wednesday today. Yeah, I know. Usually we do the news on a Monday. That is when we traditionally schedule these things. However, I was unavailable this last Monday, and so I said I would do the news on Wednesday instead. So here I am. And this is going to be a bit of an odd one because we're going to be talking about material, something that we've released and something that will be released later today, along with a crowdfunding campaign that will be launched later this month. So let's start with what's already out. Last Wednesday, we released Vigil Watch, Kelder Mountains, which is a Scarred Lands sourcebook covering the area in question, along with dwarven strongholds, various peoples, new playable options, new creatures, and all kinds of fun stuff. It's a lovely, punchy supplement for the Scarred Lands setting. So if you enjoy Scarred Lands for D&D, or if you've never given Scarred Lands a try for D&D 5th edition, I very much recommend it. If you pick up the Scarred Lands Player's Guide for D&D and Kelder Mountains, that gives you not only everything you need to play, it also gives you a wonderful setting with some lore, some depth, some mystery, some story hooks, that kind of thing that you can start delving into. Lovely way to actually prep your adventure. Now, on top of that, later today, we will be releasing Tome of the Pentacle. Tome of the Pentacle is a much anticipated Mage the Awakening 2nd edition sourcebook that has been in development for a while. We've been wanting to perfect it. Has all kinds, once again, of new playable options. It's got new merits. It's got an incredibly robust, in-depth setting of the city of New York. It covers lots of various outlawed orders and so forth. I've in fact linked to the description below to our blog about the Tremere, because the Tremere, of course, appear in Mage the Awakening as well, although they are slightly different, no less power hungry, but slightly different in Awakening than they are to Ascension. I do recommend checking this out. It will be coming out later today, and if you're a fan of Mage the Awakening, or once again, if you're interested in getting into Mage the Awakening, buying the core book, buying Tome of the Pentacle should be all you really need to get a game off the ground and running. I sometimes see people posting, or I hear them saying, what other books do we have that support Chronicles of Darkness? Obviously, there's a lot of people who are fans of Chronicles of Darkness. They want to know what's upcoming. We always post what is upcoming on our blog. We have a full snapshot of everything that is coming up on the onyxpath.com that we've announced. But I do recommend that if you're a fan of Mage, or you're a fan of Werewolf the Forsaken, you're a fan of Geist, or any of these Chronicles of Darkness lines, and you're thinking, where are the source books that I so deeply need? You need to start looking outside of the immediate line for inspiration. There are all kinds of antagonists in the Night Horrors books for every single game line, bar maybe a couple, that you can quite easily cross over. There's material in the Contagion Chronicle and its associated source books that you can use to deepen your existing Chronicles of Darkness games. Exactly the same with Dark Eras 1 Companion and Dark Eras 2. There's a lot out there that you can use and adapt very easily, because Chronicles of Darkness is arguably more crossover friendly than World of Darkness, as an example. The system is more flexible in that regard. And yes, while there is power scaling issues, if you put an Arisen in the same group as, let's say, a Werewolf, there may be some differences in scale, but that doesn't mean you can't tell some interesting stories where they're working together. Again, I point you to the Contagion Chronicle as a good example of that. Now, what else do we have coming? Well, later this month, right now we have penciled in the 25th of May. They Came From is receiving its next Kickstarter campaign. Now, you should be hearing very, very soon what the nature of this campaign is. I'm not announcing it this week because it will be announced. I believe you will hear all about it this Friday on the Onyx Pathcast. So you need to tune into the Onyx Pathcast, give it a listen, and hear me discuss with Dixie Cochran what is coming up in the next They Came From. I know a lot of people have guessed, some of them have guessed right, but we haven't announced yet exactly what it's going to contain. We will be posting the link about all over the place, of course, so that you can be notified when the campaign goes live and back it as soon as it comes up. But I'm going to tell you this is going to be a very interactive campaign. This isn't a campaign where you just put your money down and walk away. This is a campaign where you are going to want to keep up with what is going on, because things will change as the campaign proceeds. I will say no more for the time being, but do keep your eyes open. So, with all that said, I will be darting off, and I should be back to regularly scheduled Mondays. Though Mondays coming up in the end of May and beginning of June are going to be all over the place because of things like the UK Games Expo and various other obligations. But I will do my best to get these broadcasts out every Monday as normal. Thank you very much for tuning in to this earlier edition of the Onyx Path News, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your week.